how do you make a crunch wrap, and by everyone I mean like 3 people. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. If you're interested, obviously you can click on the video already. So let's just get started. I'm just right off the bat, I'm not gonna use tomatoes, lettuce, or any meat right now. I'm just kind of don't want to use any meat after deciding the last few days. I'm gonna try to cut back on my meat. But anyways, I got some Taco Bell nacho cheese right here from Walmart. And you're just gonna start out by throwing a big fat thick layer down. Just how much ever you want. It's nice to have a little bit gooey so when you take a bite it kind of oozes out. So I'm gonna do a generous amount right there. Gonna take one of these bad boys, put that down. You can crack it a little bit, but and then I'm going to, I've just been throwing beans in it. You know, it doesn't come with beans, but I've been throwing some beans in there. So I just like to throw a layer of beans down. Gives it a little bit more, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It gives it more, I don't know the word I'm trying to say right now. But anyways, it adds more food to the pocket. So I'm just gonna do that. That's not really that flat. And then I'm going to throw the cheese on. I think I like to normally put the sour cream down so the cheese sticks to it. So I'm gonna throw the sour cream. So I'm just trying to go as fast as possible so I don't have to edit this. Come on, give me some sauce. I think that the real Crunchwraps actually do come with sour cream or Crunchwrap Supreme, I don't know. Anyways, there's that. And then you're just gonna throw your cheese on. I'm just gonna empty this bag. It's probably a little bit more than I would have liked. And then you're just going to throw your sauce on. This is gonna be a really basic one. Usually I put meat, usually I go beans, meat, or meat, sour cream, cheese, and then sauce. This is the stage where you probably throw on your tomatoes or your lettuce at the end. Just gonna use up the last of this sauce right here. And then the easy part of wrapping it. So you're just gonna start by folding in one edge at a time. Kind of go in like a pentagon shape because it won't really go into a circle. And then once you get to this last part, the person that I learned it from, they say put a little bit of nacho cheese on there or whatever to get it to stick. And then you just go like that. And then by now I would have already had my pan warm, but I forgot about that step. So I'm gonna cut to that part right now. And then that'll kind of just stay together right there. All right, then over here I have my crunch wrap. And then you're gonna warm this up a little bit. I just turned it on. I put it on 4, less than medium. But anyways, whatever you temperature you choose, just don't forget about your crunch wrap. Just keep checking it. That's the bottom line. If you have this too full, sometimes you'll see some cheese or whatever. If you put the cheese on a little bit, it's fine. If it burns a little bit right here, it doesn't taste like burnt anything. So anyways, it's normal for stuff to seep out if you get it too full. Anyways, you're just gonna take this and just kind of flop it in there. You can just slam your plate over or just fold it over. And then I like to put the lid on, just kind of get it pressed in there nice and flat. And then I normally didn't start using the lid, but the lid keeps the heat inside and cooks it thoroughly and cooks it more evenly. So anyways, that'll keep it warmer. Just leave it on 4 right here. And I don't have a time limit. Just keep checking it every like 3 minutes or so, and then at the end, once it starts to get brown, just keep checking every like 30 seconds or a minute so it doesn't burn. Then flip it over, and yeah. So we'll cut to the part where I flip it, and then we'll cut to the end. So here we go. All right, I'm gonna check it real quick just to make sure it's not burning. Probably not. Not really. It's a little brown, but it can go a little bit more to get it crunchy. But anyways, if you're wondering how long I'm cooking this for, just watch the time on the clock right there on the stove to see how much time that I actually used. It's probably going to be like 3 or 4 minutes at least, but if you want to find out, just keep checking it. That's the bottom line. All right, that's probably good enough. I also want to say you can make a double Crunchwrap, which is really a really nice treat. It's extra crunchy. So anyways, here's the flip. That's pretty perfect. So there's that. But like I was saying, you can throw in a second hard shell tortilla, flat tortilla. So right at the end, once you're ready to close it, you can throw it in a second crunchy circle tortilla, and then throw more nacho cheese on top of it if you want to. And then when you fold it over, it'll guarantee stick to itself. So that's an easy way to get it to stick to itself, but it's not really that big of a deal. Just throw a little nacho cheese, but I do recommend the double Crunchwrap. That's what I like to call it. But anyways, there is the nice perfect crunch, and then give this a few more minutes on the other side, and then we'll be ready to eat it, and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside after I bite into it. All right, gonna check this real quick. It's been another minute or 2, maybe 3, I don't know. But when you flip it, the cold side goes onto the hot pan and it cooks a little bit quicker, or browns a little bit quicker. Oh, yep, just like I said, I left it a little bit too long, a little bit darker than I would have, but this is the first time I checked it. So here's the flip. Kind of perfect, kind of is right on the edge of getting burnt. But here's the crunch. Very nice. And then I'll take a bite and show you what it looks like on the inside, but you probably don't care. Well, I wasn't going to show you myself eating it, but I want you guys to hear the ASMR crunch, so here we go. You got the nacho cheese just popping in your mouth like you just ate a bug, but can't really see it. That's what it looks like. There you go. A little bit better. Beautiful. Fully cooked. Well, cheese could be melted a little bit more, but everything's hot inside and delicious. So there you go. There's your Crunchwrap. Hope this helps. Happy cooking, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Drop a like, follow, or subscribe, I guess, and then see you guys in the next one. Love you guys. Peace.